We've had this conversation before. We had this conversation a year ago. The answers were pretty mixed back then. So a year later, I'm interested in hearing if fans are still pretty split on this issue, or if maybe the pendulum is swung in either direction, for or against the idea of it. And that is David Bednar. Now, I don't like bringing up trading David Bednar because he's one of us and he comes out to Renegade, and he also has a bobblehead night in a couple of weeks, Malsey. July 29th. They'll be giving away David Bednar bobbleheads that you press a button on it and it plays Renegade.
What part of Renegade?
It starts at the beginning and gets into the chorus. It might even have the entire song. For all we know.
Bobblehead that plays a 3.5 to 4 minute rock song?
Yep.
I think not, Chaluch.
Why not? You don't think bobblehead technology has improved enough?
No, I don't think we're far enough along in the bobblehead evolution. You're going to just have a bobblehead that plays a song.
You can tell a block in your house to play
anything.
Animotion or Obsession by Animotion if you want.
I mean, you can tell a block in your house to play Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier.
Yeah.
A terrible song.
And then you'll be pumped up.
Just an absolute garbage piece of trash.
Right? So, I mean, why can't they?
Because it's battery powered. It's going to run out if it plays Renegade
put
like
new batteries
6
in.
times.
Maybe a big battery.
Hun, come upstairs. Bring the double A's. The Bednar's out again.
But we have this article on MLB's website, and this is potential trade deadline targets from all-star teams. Guys that were in the all-star game who could get moved at the deadline. And the name here is David Bednar. That's on the list. Makes the all-star team again. He'd be the top closer available if the Pirates want to trade him. Has 3 years of team control left. He's not making a lot of money yet. Arbitration kicks in next year. Is Chris Muller for or against the idea of the Pirates trading David Bednar at this deadline?
I'm for the idea of them shopping him, certainly, and listening intently. I always think when you say for or against the idea of trading the player, if it's a guy that has that many advantageous aspects to his current situation for the Pirates, under team control, still very inexpensive, very good at his job, I don't like being the guy going, oh, yeah, trade him immediately. Come on, what good is he doing you? I think that's short-sighted. But everything you just said about him makes him an attractive candidate to be traded if he's plying his trade, closing baseball games, on a team that rarely wins them anymore. Like, I think that that's an area where you have to say a couple of things if you're the Pirates. One, across multiple regimes, we have been able to find these players to pitch the last 3 innings of a baseball game or the highest leverage part, and we've been pretty damn good at finding them going back to Huntington with Melanson and Grilly, and Hanrahan before even that. And now Bednar carries on that tradition. And I think guys like David Bednar, if the right team or teams, you need 2, are really in on him, maybe a team like Texas that didn't expect to contend that clearly is this year, and they feel like, hey, if we could just get one more guy to shore up this bullpen, we are going to be really tough to stop. I think you can get an overpayment for what the guy is. Reliever's inherently less valuable than starting pitching. I think teams are more inclined to overpay for really good ones this time of year. So I absolutely would be listening. I would absolutely, maybe not have the sign on David Bednar metaphorically that says we're open for business on this guy, like sale. But I'm definitely not hanging up the phone or rejecting calls if I'm Ben Cherington.
Well, before I get to Donnie on this, tell me why you wouldn't do that last part. Why wouldn't you be aggressively shopping him? What's the argument against that?
Because you don't want to aggressively shop him and then feel like because you've shopped him so much, maybe you're almost like pot committed to the idea then of trading him. Because if you don't get an offer that knocks your socks off and you really genuinely believe, even in the absence of major deadline moves this year that maybe shore you up for next year, that you're going to be a contender in 24, he suddenly becomes a lot more valuable to you. Like, if you don't think you can get a king's ransom from him or for him from a desperate ball club, then I don't think you shop him.
I think the only way to find out is if you let the league know you're interested in trading him.
But you don't have to come out and say we are really pricing him to move here.
Well, of course not. Cherington would never say that in an interview. That's not his style. He's not Jim Rutherford as a general manager. But you say, I would not put a for sale sign up. I would. Doesn't mean you can't take the house back off the market, but I want the rest of the league to know you can have David Bednar, an all-star closer,
Do you think it does any damage
for
with
the next
player?
3 years.
Do you think it does any damage whatsoever with the player if he knows there's a for sale sign out there? Hey, we're listening to offers.
Yeah, I mean, he's from here. But I also think David Bednar is, to steal a stupid Tomlin thing, singularly focused enough where I don't think it would distract him and prevent him from doing his job.